How modern fraudsters are stealing billions in 2026. Intro hook. In March 2026, a 34-year-old man in a perfectly tailored blue suit walked out of a federal courtroom in Orlando, Florida. His sunglasses gleamed. His open-neck white shirt screamed success. He looked exactly like the kind of millennial tech billionaire you'd see on the cover of Forbes. But Christopher Alexander Delgado wasn't a success story. He was the mastermind behind a $328 million cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. From January 2023 through January 2026, Delgado, president and CEO of Goliath Ventures, formerly known as Gen Z venture firm, had been running one of the most sophisticated financial frauds in modern American history. And here's the thing that should terrify you: he's just one of them. Part 1. The numbers are staggering. Online frauds like romance scams might generate more headlines, but Ponzi schemes continue to quietly thrive in the shadows of our digital economy. In 2025 alone, Americans reported $8.6 billion stolen through investment scams, including Ponzi schemes, according to the FBI. People 60 and older reported $3.5 billion in losses, and the actual numbers are likely far higher because most victims never report it. They're too embarrassed, too ashamed. But here's what makes 2026 different from anything Charles Ponzi or even Bernie Madoff could have imagined. The schemes have gone digital, and the scale is absolutely breathtaking. Part 2. The Goliath v. Tures case, a $328 million lie. Let's go back to Delgado. According to the criminal complaint filed by the U.S. Department of Justice, Delgado's scheme was textbook Ponzi, but with a 21st century twist. He promised victims massive monthly returns generated through cryptocurrency liquidity pools. He used personal referrals, professional marketing materials, luxury events, and charitable sponsorships to build credibility. Victims were induced to invest substantial sums of money under false promises. But here's the truth: Goliath Ventures wasn't investing in anything. Instead, Delgado was using new investors' money to pay purported returns to earlier investors. He was returning principal to investors who requested it, and he was funding extravagant business gatherings, Christmas parties, and luxury travel accommodations. With victim money, Delgado purchased several residential properties. The DOJ has now filed civil forfeiture against 7 real properties and 11 vehicles allegedly purchased with the proceeds of his scheme. And here's the kicker: more than 2,000 investors are now suing J.P. Morgan Chase, alleging that $253 million moved through J.P. Morgan accounts linked to the scheme between January 2023 and June 2025, with roughly $123 million later transferred to cryptocurrency wallets. The victims say J.P. Morgan ignored warning signs: rapid, large deposits and withdrawals, commingling of funds, and transaction patterns commonly associated with fraud. A massive bank, allegedly enabling a massive fraud. Part 3. The OMEGAPRO disaster, $100 billion. But Goliath Ventures, that's small compared to what came next. Omega Pro, branded as one of the world's largest crypto investment platforms, is accused of defrauding nearly 3 million investors worldwide across countries including Colombia, Mexico, Nigeria, the UK, France, Belgium, Hong Kong, Singapore, India, and South Korea. The 137-page federal complaint filed in Miami details how Omega Pro and its successor Go Global lured millions with promises of guaranteed 200 to 300% returns. Behind the glossy seminars and celebrity endorsements, prosecutors say the money was never invested. Instead, it was laundered through shell firms in Dubai, Malta, Panama, and crucially, Turkey. Here's where it gets even more disturbing. French and Spanish financial authorities issued formal fraud alerts against Omega Pro on March 17, 2022. Turkey did nothing for more than 2 years. During that gap, Omega Pro continued to recruit thousands more investors and launder millions through Istanbul. The first major breakthrough came on July 9, 2024, when Turkish gendarmes raided villas in Istanbul's wealthy Akarkent compound and arrested Andreas Attila Shakax, the Swedish-Turkish co-founder of Omega Pro. Shakax had acquired Turkish citizenship under the name Emre Avcay and was living in a 4-story luxury villa equipped with security cameras, whiteboards filled with crypto notes, and computers used to manage the company's servers. Investigators seized 32 cold wallets and documented hundreds of millions of dollars in transfers. A preliminary review showed Shakax was linked to $160 million in crypto flows in just 1 month. The total alleged fraud, $100 billion. That's not a typo, $100 billion. Part 4, the global Ponzi epidemic. And these are just the headline cases. In Nigeria, Interpol and AFRIPOL arrested multiple suspects linked to a massive cryptocurrency-based Ponzi scheme that defrauded investors across 17 countries of over $562 million. The 2-month sweep, codenamed Operation Catalyst, led to 83 arrests across 6 African nations, including Nigeria, Kenya, and Angola. Here's the part that should scare you. Interpol discovered links between Nigerian participants in this crypto Ponzi scheme and terrorist financing. The fraudulent scheme spanned at least 17 countries and affected over 100,000 victims. Several high-value crypto wallets tied to the operation are now under forensic investigation, Interpol stated, with authorities tracing transactions suspected to have been funneled into terrorism-related activities. In the United Kingdom, 5 men were found liable to pay back almost £400 million in what has been branded the largest Ponzi scheme in British history. In Australia, the director of Courtenay House was sentenced to 11 years in prison for running Australia's largest Ponzi scheme. In Singapore, authorities are grappling with what may be the country's largest Ponzi scheme to date. And in New York, a businessman pleaded guilty in April 2026 to stealing $50 million from 988 investors in a decades-long Ponzi scheme. Part 5, the crypto connection. So what's driving this explosion? Cryptocurrency. Ponzi schemes have always relied on one thing: investments that are hard to verify. And nothing is harder to verify than crypto. In November 2025, the founder and CEO of a cryptocurrency investment firm pleaded guilty to defrauding investors in a $9.4 million Ponzi scheme. In September 2025, the CEO of a multi-level marketing and Bitcoin trading firm pleaded guilty to operating a Ponzi scheme that defrauded over 90,000 investors worldwide. In one particularly brazen case, a fake crypto trading platform called DSJ Exchange and a fraudulent investment scheme called BG Wealth Sharing advertised daily returns of 1.3% to 2.6%, with referral commissions and rank-based bonuses. They even claimed to be licensed by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, a complete fabrication. 13 regulators across 5 continents had issued public fraud warnings about the firms, including the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, and Washington's Department of Financial Institutions. And yet, the scam continued to operate, taking over $150 million from unsuspecting victims. When the scheme finally collapsed, the scammers had already disabled withdrawals. They laundered over $92 million in crypto assets across chains, regularly rotating between domains and hot wallets to evade law enforcement. On-chain detective Zach XBT traced the millions through token swaps, bridging services, and consolidation across hundreds of addresses. Tether eventually froze $38.4 million. Another $3.1 million was frozen at various crypto services and exchanges. Total recovered $41.5 million.